Hello, welcome to Kitchen Basics 101, where I teach you the bare bone basics as if you've never cooked a day in your life from the perspective of a mom. Today we are making oatmeal date cookies. Oatmeal cookies is pretty much the only cookie you're ever going to see me make. I love oatmeal cookies because they're breakfast, right? So I'm going to make them with delicious dates, and that's going to be a superfood breakfast, in my opinion. And I know sometimes people are like a little intimidated to work with dates because it's probably not your like everyday American fare if you're American. But I promise you, they are so delicious. They're so sweet. They're full of fiber and they're good for you. So step one is always to prep your ingredients. So I'm going to get a couple of dates out and I'm going to show you. Oh, he rolled off. I'm going to slice it down the middle of the date and I'm going to show you inside. There's a pit right here. And so you got to throw that out. And then there's also like a little piece where it connects to the tree and you want to take that off. Other than that, the rest of this is completely edible. Every other part of the date is completely edible. So we're just going to pit them all really quick. Now you can buy them pitted or you can probably buy them sliced up into little chunks if you want to forego the step we're doing right now. But I just buy the thing at Costco and it comes with them with pits and it's not that big a deal. Like I said, you just peel them open, pull out the pit, and then if you have that little end piece, which they don't all have, then you're going to peel that off too. It is a sticky job, but it's an easy one, so I'll come right back. Dates are very sweet, so I'm going to be cutting back on the recipe, how much sugar I put in there a little bit because I'm putting all these dates in. Like if you're using a oatmeal chocolate chip recipe or an oatmeal raisin recipe, this is going to be much sweeter with the dates. So now I'm just chopping the dates up into little chunks and pieces, and I'm looking to get about a cup and a half of dates to add to my recipe. So I'm going to put them into this measuring cup. I think I'm going to toss them in a little bit of flour just because they're going to stick to each other pretty aggressively because like I said, dates are really super sticky. So after I get my measurement, I'm going to get a bowl and probably give them a little toss with just a touch of flour to help break them up into their individual pieces, which will hopefully distribute them more evenly in the batter. Because if I just put a clump of them in the batter, no matter how much, see how it sticks together? No matter how much I mix it up, right? It's gonna stay clumped together and I don't want that. So, okay, let's get the rest of our ingredients together. We're doing 2 cups of flour. I used my cup measurement for the date, so now I have to use my half cup. So I'm gonna have to do 4 of these. You do not have to sift if you do not want to sift. I like to sift. I think it makes just like fluffier and lighter, but it is not a requirement. So if you do not have a sifter, do not worry. You do not have to sift. What you see me doing is scooping it into my measuring cup instead of dipping my measuring cup into the flour. And this is because you're gonna have a tendency to put too much flour. You don't want the flour to be compacted at all, not like you do the sugar. The brown sugar you don't want to be compacted, but the flour you don't. So what I use is a scooping method. You could also use a scale. If you have a kitchen scale, that is the most accurate way to measure your flour is by grams. So if you have a kitchen scale, do that. Me personally, I don't have a kitchen scale. Maybe someday, but I don't have any space for anything in my kitchen right now, but I will get one, I promise. So I think I need one more, right? 2 cups of flour. Cookies are definitely the most forgiving baking thing. If you do a cake or a souffle, it has to be very specific, but cookies are pretty forgiving. So then we're also going to do a teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda provides lift to the cookies, so that's why you're gonna add it, so that, you know, they puff up a little bit and they've got like a lighter texture to them. They're not flat. Then I'm just going to give that a sift. I just love how it gets all light and fluffy. But again, don't have to sift. You could also, if you don't have a sifter, you could use a whisk. A whisk is a great way to add some to aerate and just to see if you have any clumps or anything. Most modern flour, you're not going to have anything. It's going to be basically, it's all going to come through the sifter and you're not going to have any issues. I think back in the day, you know, you used to have like, hold on. Okay, that's our dry ingredients ready. We're going to set aside. So our dates are ready. Our dry ingredients already and set to the side. I'm gonna crack 2 eggs into this measuring cup. And the reason that I use, I'm watching my dates fall out of the container, a measuring cup is because you don't want to crack the egg directly into your batter in case you get shell or something. And a measuring cup just makes it easy to pour. So that's my preferred method. Okay, I have a stand mixer. You don't have to have a stand mixer. You could use a hand mixer. You could do it by hand, but it's going to be more challenging. This is 1 cup of softened butter. If you're using Kerrygold, it's 1 brick of it is a cup. But if you're using sticks of butter, it's 2 sticks. So we're just going to cream that butter for a minute on its own. I just realized it's kind of blurry because it's moving. Is that better? Okay, we're going to cream our butter. Then we're going to add 1/3 cup of regular white sugar. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to add 1 cup of packed brown sugar. So we've got 1/3 of a cup of white sugar and then 1 cup of brown sugar packed. And we're going to cream that together with the butter until it turns pale in color and it's completely incorporated. So a minute or 2. Okay, that's looking gorgeous. Now we're going to add to this our 2 eggs. Beautiful. And then we're going to add 4 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm using this vanilla bean like paste, although I don't know if I have enough, but you can totally just use regular vanilla bean extract as well. This is just fancy. It has the little pieces of vanilla in it. It's really cute. So 4 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Okay, then we're just going to, why does it keep going out of focus? Okay, then we're just going to mix everything together. This is your opportunity to get your ingredients well incorporated before you add the flour. Because once we add the flour, we're going to try not to over mix. Okay, we are going to do 1 scrape down of the sides. And that's just to make sure that everything's getting fully incorporated. Now, some stand mixers or attachments have a special scraper, so you supposedly don't have to do this part, but mine does not. So I have got to scrape down the sides for you. Okay, I have my mixer turned down to stir, which is its low setting. And I'm just gonna very carefully add 1 scoop at a time my dry ingredients, which is my flour mixed with my baking soda, because we don't want to over mix this. We want it to get incorporated. So I just do it like 1 spoonful at a time. And I know it's like, oh my God, it's going to take forever, but it really doesn't. It really only takes a minute. Use a big spoon. All right, that's how our batter looks now that we've incorporated the flour. Now I'm going to go toss the dates in a little bit of flour. I have my recording device here. Okay, I'm going to put my dates in my bowl and see how sticky they are. They stick to everything. They're super sticky like honey. So I'm just going to put the tiniest bit of flour. We don't want to add too much flour to our batter. I'm just going to put a tiny dusting of flour over them and toss them and just try to get them to separate a little bit into individual pieces more, so that it's not just one giant clump of dates, if that makes sense. Okay, here's all the dates that I've got tossed to separate them up as best I could, and I broke them up a little with my spoon. But before we add the dates, we got to add our oatmeal. So you're going to add 3 cups of rolled oats to your batter. I'm using these amazing sprouted rolled oats that are gluten-free that I received from Costco because they're amazing. But you can use whatever oatmeal you like. You can see why we need a mixer. Look at how thick it is. And now I'm going to add my dates, okay, to the batter. Okay, we're going to pop the batter in the fridge and we're going to let it chill for like 30 minutes, but you could even do it overnight, and then we'll scoop our cookies. Okay, scooped them out with a big scooper, popping them in the oven for 9 minutes. They're not going to look completely done, and they're going to stay kind of puffed up, but they're just going to be a little brown around the edge, and then you're going to pull them out and let them cool. I've been patient, and I've let it cool, and now it's time to taste. Look at how soft and chewy, but cooked. See, they're brown on the bottom. I'm so glad I backed off that sugar. They're not too sweet at all. I would have put more dates. That's the only thing.